So I have an intern who had a presentation from Here from the Girls, and her gift to me when she graduated was one of the calendars. And in the back of the calendar, she and I had taken a picture together, and she had our picture up there, and she said, "You belong in this calendar."
I have been wanting to be a calendar girl since I first started getting involved with Here for the Girls, which was back in 2017, and wanted to be able to advocate as a nurse and now being on the patient side. And the calendar spoke to me and really guided me.
One of the girls in our support group, she posted on Facebook that this was the deadline tonight by midnight. If you want to apply, get it done, and kept turning in my head. I was like, what is it gonna hurt? I took a shot and here I am.
Vanessa Spurlock and I have been friends since my very first meeting. And I said that if she applied, I would apply also. So when she told me that she applied, I said, okay, well, I was just joking. And then she made me apply also. From the day I walked in until today, I've loved every second of it. So I decided to become a calendar model so that I could spread the love of Here for the Girls to everyone that I know.
Oddly enough, during my diagnosis, I barely told anybody, maybe 20 people or less. I didn't tell but maybe a couple of my coworkers, my church. I didn't let them know because I didn't want them to think that if Vanessa didn't show up for church that she was dying, or she didn't show up for work. So I was like, it was enough for me to carry. I couldn't carry it for everybody else. But after I was finished with all of my treatment, I was telling my mom and my sister, I said, there's a survival group meeting and I think I may want to go. Well, again, I went and they just happened, that other group happened not to have had a meeting that night. So I guess it was just in God's plan that I didn't go to that one, because a couple of weeks later I met Here for the Girls and here I am.
My first meeting was actually on Halloween, and I dressed up in a costume as a man, a grandpa actually. And I think I was trying to hide myself a little bit because I didn't know if I could expose myself to other people. It got to the point where I just felt like, I was alone and I was fighting this battle by myself. And I knew that they had office support, and I finally got the courage to go to a meeting and meet the other women. And once I did, I just, the support was overwhelming.
I think I was afraid to be around other women who were going through this because I was afraid to hear their story. I don't know why now, now that I guess I'm on the other side of it, but at the time, that's where my mind was.
When I got my diagnosis, I didn't want to tell anyone. And then when I eventually got around to telling individuals, it became easier once I met the individuals from Here for the Girls.
It took me a while to go to my first meeting, but the girls were just amazing. They were so open. I felt like I was alone at the time. But then to find out that everybody was sharing the same experience that I was sharing, they were having the same side effects that I was having.
I wasn't sure where this road was taking me. And then when I met the girls, I just feel like, wow, I'm not alone. They've done what I've had to do, and some have had it better, some have had it worse. And, we just share that special link, that special bond. And I've learned from this not to just try to do it by myself. There are other people out there.
Went in to the last year's retreat, again, not knowing anyone but one person. And I pulled up in the driveway and I was so nervous. I almost was like, I don't know if I should do this. Am I in the right place? But I just kind of went for it. Out of my comfort zone, fresh out of treatment. And I walked in and I was immediately welcomed by so many women. And I stumbled to my room and found a whole group of women in there. And it was like not a minute where I felt alone. So I would definitely say the retreat is where I just felt like such a connection with these women. They all just welcome you with open arms.
I went to their first meetings. There were all kinds of things going on. They had a gala coming up, a motorcycle ride, a beach day, and everything was just, it was focused around us, around the girls, and being able to learn to live our lives again.
You know, all of the things you need. You know, where's the best place to go buy a compression sleeve, or the best place to go buy a hat, or, you know, all of these other resources. What's the best diet to have to, you know, to feed my body after I've been through cancer? You know, those are resources that are incredibly valuable that Here for the Girls brings you as part of being a part of the organization.
I like this group because it is geared more towards women that were diagnosed when they were younger. And we have a whole separate set of challenges. Most of us are still working. Most of us have young children at home.
All my family's in upstate New York, so they have become kind of my family in Virginia. If I need anything, even just a good morning inspiration each morning, all the girls are there. Because you go into this not expecting anything, maybe just some good conversation, but you end up getting so much more.
I was a single parent at the time. I was working full time, and I just thought, I don't know how I'm going to get through the rest of this on my own, because when you start, you know, the cancer journey and you're getting chemo and you're having procedures and you're having surgery, all of your infusions and all of your surgeries, you're kind of like, what just happened to me? And then everything just kind of sets in and you're like, whoa. Because the girls were able to pull me out of what probably would have been, you know, dark time in my life, but without them, I don't think I would have been able to get through the rest without their help.
Our group was having a pool party. I went and I showed up and go to the backyard, and one of the girls in our group was already in the pool on a giant pizza float and paddled over to me at the edge of the pool and immediately welcomed me in. You know, immediately she said, what kind of breast cancer do you have? And I said, well, I have triple negative. And she said, me too. And so right off the bat, I felt included. And it was like I had been there years and years, and it was just my first day.
Very early in my diagnosis, about a month in, I was actually at a golf event at Kingsmill, and a woman sat down next to my husband and I and had a pink ribbon ball marker on her cap. Coincidentally enough, she was a 5-year survivor. She had the exact same diagnosis that I had. She was able to give me some of the best advice I ever got. You know, give into it when it brings you down. You'll get through, life will be normal again. That just told me how valuable it is to surround yourself with other breast cancer survivors.
About halfway through my chemo treatments, I started going downhill on a major slide. Even though my husband and my boys are the most amazing support team that I have, I needed something else. I needed somebody who understood. So that's when I took my nurse navigator's advice and I found Here for the Girls and instantly fell in love.
Going to the support group was people who understand the symptoms or the feelings or the emotions, the anxiety, the nerves, and that's just so valuable to know that you're not alone. You know, again, I never felt alone at home, but the women in this group I could call on, I could reach out to if I had questions. I knew that there were other people who understood that and were there to help and just talk through it and listen, and that's just so comforting to know that.
My family, my mom, my sister, my dad, you know, my best friend Karen, it's like they were total troopers. And I love everything about how they supported me. But when I'm with Here for the Girls, it's like a different support. The outside world only gets to see and hear what you tell them. But the Here for the Girls, they get to actually feel your whole journey because they've been there.
I feel like when I'm with the girls, Here for the Girls, my sisters, that we can talk and be honest about everything, that, you know, your feelings and your just everything, your side effects, what's going on in your family. It's an understood openness.
It's kind of a feeling of relief being with this group. I know that they take me as I am no matter what. They don't judge one another based on having reconstruction, having flat chest now, any choices you made along the way, because they know you made that choice because it's right for you. And there's nothing but support.
We didn't just sit and talk about cancer. We were able to laugh and talk about things unrelated to cancer. But then if someone needed to share, then it was a safe place to share as well.
I can count on these girls for anything. Anything that I need, anytime that I'm upset or they're upset, we know that we have each other to lean on and for support. And it's just, I can't describe it. I don't know how to describe it. It's just been a good thing.
Just some great strength that I get from them. It's just love, and it's just the strength. And then you feel like you can conquer anything.
From individuals that you may not have met before, from individuals that may not know your exact story, but they can empathize with you. They've been there, they've sat in your shoes. And even though the stories are different, even though everything's different about it, it feels like love, complete unconditional love.
And you can try to explain it 10 different ways. They're never really going to understand. And even with us, we all still had different journeys, but this is the closest I'm ever going to get to someone truly feeling what I have in my heart.